Is time enough at last?
Obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
Emily, take the bandages off.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 87. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have The Disappointing Miniature.
Ooh, Season 4, Episode 8. Original air date February 21st, 1963. This was written by Charles Beaumont and directed by Walter Grauman, who only did one episode, and this was it.
Well, thank God.
We'll jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment, if you had one?
My favorite moment was the terrible date where he goes out with Harriet there, pushes her off a bench when she tries to kiss him, and then his delivery of the line, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, genuinely, he was not sorry for pushing her off. But I apart from that, though, another funny-ish moment, more of a reoccurring gag, though, is the whole acknowledgement that the buddy keeps cracking his knuckles and the doctor looks at him every time. I thought that was a little humorous, too.
Funny. My favorite moment was that shot when he puts his nose on the glass before the commercial break. It was kind of odd, but just Robert Duvall's performance, that's like, if there's any shining light on this episode, it's Robert Duvall did an excellent job. I
would say almost too good. Like, I don't like him as a character. I get the character and I get the actor behind it, but just, annoying character.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro. I'm trying to make them a little bit more meta and funny as of late. And I guess we can get into it now. Has anyone noticed how crappy ChatGPT has gotten? It's insane. I have it actually. I took a picture here. I tried to. Obviously, I'm looking for Mr. Peepers references in a lot of episodes. So I said, "Is anyone from the Twilight Zone episode Miniature from the television show Mr. Peepers?" It says, "Yes. Don Rickles, who appears briefly in Miniature, he plays a coworker of Charles, was not in Mr. Peepers." So I was like, "What?" And then it says, "However, Don Rickles was not in Miniature either."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Absolutely useless.
Terrible. I always double check the thing. And
obviously, you'd recognize Don Rickles if he was in this episode, too.
And when it said that, I was like, what the hell? But it's almost every week, it's just like, yes, it's like it wants me to get excited. It goes, but no. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Here is the AI Serling submission for this week. Submitted for your approval, one Charlie Parks, a man so shy, so retiring, he makes a church mouse look like a Vegas headliner. Charlie has just discovered the perfect woman, polite, beautiful, and most importantly, only 8 inches tall and safely sealed behind museum glass. A match made not in heaven, but in the props department. Tonight's story is called Miniature. It's from the Twilight Zone's rarely seen hour-long phase, that strange era when CBS thought, if 30 minutes is good, surely 60 must be twice as good. The results? Let's just say, not everything scales up as gracefully as Charlie's love life. Step carefully, dear viewer, into a dollhouse world where reality is optional, love is handcrafted, and the only thing smaller than the leading lady was the show's rating for that year.
Nice. That's good. A lot of fun wordplay there.
All right, so every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 3 this week.
I also have 3.
And it is a odd, so go for it.
All right, how much do the meals cost at the museum's cafeteria?
Damn it, that was one of mine, 60 cents.
Yeah, good job.
What are the museum's hours of operation?
Normally, they operate from 9 to 5, but on Tuesdays, they're open till 10.
They're open 10 to 5. Everything else you got right, but they open at 10, not 9.
All right. The wood used to carve Alice is made from wood from what part of the Summers house?
The porch?
The balcony.
Dang it. I thought it was like a deck or something. It's kind of like a balcony. All right. What's the brother-in-law's name?
His name is Buddy.
His name's Buddy.
Little Buddy Diapers. My last one, it's kind of one that you already did, but on the day his sister follows him to the museum, what time does it say it closes that day?
10 p.m.
Correct.
Correct. All right. Short and to the sweet. We'll
Short and to the sweet.
Short and to the sweet, baby. We'll get right into the plot because this is a season 4 one. We'll try and rush through it, but not. We'll take a little bit of a stroll.
my lines. I just took a ton of notes.
I do have a lot of notes, but all right. Let's jump right into this nut. We open on an office, a bunch of men doing their calculations, lunch bell rings.
There were some women in the office there, too.
All right. Everyone gets up except for Charles, and they all kind of make fun of him for being a square. Like, you're going to make us all look bad.
What do I have to do, pound you? You better go to lunch with us, Charlie.
So he gets up reluctantly, and he goes to lunch. The boss notices, and the boss, we should say, is Barney Phillips.
He is.
Unfortunately, does not get much airtime, though. But
It's funny, Barney Phillips being in one of my favorites to one of my least favorites. He runs the gambit.
Charlie walks around. He goes to the museum. Apparently, he's going to go to the cafeteria there, but it's closed. So he goes upstairs and kind of gets stuck in a tour group. This man is... How would you describe Charlie?
Bashful. I would describe him as being... He's written to be autistic probably before they knew what autistic was. Like, he's very, like, not antisocial, but just, like, doesn't know sociality that well. He's awkward, shy. He likes to keep to himself. But yeah, when he kind of runs into this group of ladies, he just kind of gets pulled into their whole group and just has to sort of walk with them.
Right. It is an awkward situation that he would be in. I might kind of like, all right, I guess I'm going this way. So he takes a brief constitutional into the African section and learns about some African masks. He finally breaks off, goes through the Egypt wing, and then he finally finds the Victorian room where we see a miniature with clearly like a television set in it.
Yeah, I think they're like, I don't know if they're doing like a rear projection onto it
I think it's
get the
definitely
effect.
like a television. It looks like it's definitely a TV screen in that dollhouse.
Yeah, that makes
with
sense.
the 4 rooms. It is a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, it's very effective, especially like when they get the close-up shots of like just whatever room the doll happens to be in, where it's a high
crane
up
shot,
view.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a really clever way of like making you feel like you're big watching something small.
Then we see a woman. She's playing the piano, and Charlie is hypnotized by this, and Rod takes us in.
To the average person, a museum is a place of knowledge, a place of beauty and truth and wonder. Some people come to study, others to contemplate, others to look for the sheer joy of looking. Charlie Parks has his own reasons. He comes to the museum to get away from the world. It isn't really the 60-cent cafeteria meal that has drawn him here every day. It's the fact that here in these strange, cool halls, he can be alone for a little while. Really and truly alone. Anyway, that's how it was before he got lost and wandered in to the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Next shot, the security guard comes over to Charlie, and Charlie's like, how do they get her to do that? What are you talking about, buddy?
I mean,
get her to play the piano.
Before he realizes that this is all in his head, that is a reasonable question to ask. I mean, I'd probably just assume that it's like a little animatronic, although I guess back in the early 60s like this, probably animatronics were quite rare.
Right. The security guard tells him, "What are you talking? It's made out of wood. Check it out. Look at the sign over there." And he's like, "Oh, sorry. I'm very embarrassed."
Then he realizes that he's quite late to get back to work, so he rushes back to work where there's already a letter waiting on his desk for him. Like he must not have been that late. Like it.
I think he was like 2 hours late. If lunch was like 2 o'clock, at noon, and it's almost 2 o'clock now.
How the hell did he manage to be that late? Like,
I think he gets hypnotized by it because later on, the guy's like, "How do you stand here for like 4 or 5 hours sometimes?"
Huh.
I think he just gets like...
Yeah, because the clip makes it look like he was only watching her for a few seconds, but maybe it's supposed to be like, yeah, there was a big time.
Yeah, if you look at the
jump.
clock, he left for lunch at noon at the beginning, and it's almost 2 o'clock when he arrives.
Yep.
And there's a note on his desk that says, "Go see the boss." He goes in, and he has a conversation, and he's like, "Do you like us here, Charlie?" He's like, "I'd never thought of it." And the boss is just like, "I'm going to level with you here. You're kind of a square peg. We thought you would round off your edges, but you don't fit in."
See, some of the things he says, you'd be like, well, that's kind of a good employee. He's like, you're never early, you're never late. You come in here, do your job. I'm like, isn't that what you'd kind of want in an ideal employee. Like they just
I guess it
no
depends
fuss,
on
no muss.
what they do. We don't really know what they do. Maybe he's not. Maybe it kind of is a little bit more team oriented, but it doesn't seem like. It seems like it's just number crunching, which it seems like he would probably be the best at it.
Exactly. Like based off of what they're all doing on their counting machines, like it definitely seems very number based. Like no one's ever talking to each other. So why do you need it to be a team based environment? It's very strange.
But anyway, he tells him, "You're fired," and he's like, "And also, it's none of my business, but shouldn't you stop living with your mama?"
That is a weird thing for his boss to first know, and then also be like, also now that I'm fired, I'm just gonna like just put it to you.
Add insult to
injury. Like, you need to grow up, dude.
Next shot, he's back at his home. His mom's like, "I'm gonna call that boss. He had no right." And I'll play a little bit of this because I think it's kind of important to see the relationship between him and his mother.
Maybe that's it. Maybe if I'd let your father punish you the way he wanted to.
It's all right, Mother. It's just a minor setback.
Oh, you say that every time. Why can't you keep a job, son? Why do you always end up making everyone feel uncomfortable around you?
Right away, from this first maybe 10 seconds of meeting the mother, we already know that she's overbearing, she's emotionally manipulative, like just not a healthy relationship between the mother and son here.
For sure. His mom asks, "Why were you late anyway?" And he's like, "I was just detained, that's all." Then he heads to his room. Of course, Mom follows.
Makes the bed for him and then takes off his shoes. "Mom, I'm a big boy. I don't need you to take my shoes off."
Charlie says, "I prefer to take my own shoes off." And Mom's like, "All right, fine. I'll at least bring you some cocoa."
Do you notice she like pinched the end of the sock too? Like just enough to like either take the whole sock off or just leave the sock be.
I didn't notice that. Next shot, Charlie's leaving the employment agency. He walks past the museum and, of course, decides to go in. Security guard's like, "Back again, huh?" Charlie seems very excited to see the dollhouse, but the girl's not in the living room this time. She's coming down the stairs. She's got a dress with a maid, and then she starts playing the piano. And then John Wilkes Booth arrives at the door.
He really does look a lot like John Wilkes Booth, and I like that
an
they,
old magician or something.
Yeah, I like that they utilized more than just the one single doll, and that they were also like moving throughout the house. Like it would have gotten very stale and boring if it was just the same living room with her playing the piano over and over.
Right. The guy comes and like kisses her hand, so we kind of get that they're like going on a date. Charlie is obviously upset about this. They leave, and then Charlie does that really weird nose thing on the glass that brings us to commercial.
Before he did that, too, I was under the impression that there wasn't, like, any glass kind of keeping the dollhouse from the rest of the museum.
I guess it makes sense because you wouldn't want, like, kids or anyone reaching into the dollhouse, so you'd want that barrier.
Yeah.
Next shot, it's morning at his house, and his mom's like, "Breakfast is ready, Charlie." His sister and brother-in-law are there, and Mrs. Parks, the mother, is saying, "He's been acting really weird lately." And the brother-in-law's like, "Maybe he's got a new girlfriend or something."
And then the mother's like, "Oh no, that wouldn't happen. If he had a girlfriend, he'd definitely tell me." And then the sister kind of gives a knowing look to her husband of like, "No."
Charlie comes in and says hi to his sister and brother-in-law. And Charlie's sister's like, "We got a surprise for you, Charlie. Tell him, bud." And he's like, "My boss said you could have a job, Charlie." And Charlie's just like,
continues to drink his milk in silence. "No thanks."
He does a lot of psychopathic things.
Yeah, I mean, he's very abnormal.
And then he goes, "I'm sorry, but no, it's too far away from my house." Obviously, he just wants to be as close as he can to the museum. I believe when we see him see the doll for the first time, that was the first time he saw it. But for some reason, I was thinking like he's gone there for a while. But so this is like a very quick, like in a day or two, he's got obsessed with this woman.
So he's been going to the museum for a long time to eat their lunches, but because on the first day the cafeteria was closed and it's been under construction presumably for all this time, then he decided to, instead of eat there, just wander the museum.
Next shot, Charlie is back at the museum, but this time he's telling the little girl doll all about his mother. "My mother, you'd like her. I have a sister about your age. She's not as pretty as you, though." Security guard kind of notices him talking to the doll, so he comes over, and I'll play a little bit of this because the security guard who sees this every day is kind of like, "What's going on here, buddy? What do you hear over here?"
And like his response back is quite blunt.
A little early today, aren't you?
Yes.
I guess you must get a real kick out of some of these displays.
Oh, yes,
This one here in particular. What do you see, mister?
Oh, nothing.
A man doesn't stand for 4 or 5 hours at a stretch looking at nothing.
Well, I'm not breaking any rules, am I?
No.
Then, leave me alone, please.
I bet the security guard must think like, when he said you get a real kick, he's probably thinking like, this guy's doing some weird sexual
This guy's
things to this
jacking off.
doll.
If I wasn't here, this guy's pants would be around his ankles.
He's probably cut a hole in his pants and jerking out right in front of us.
Next shot, Charlie is leaving his house, and his sister decides to follow him, see where he goes.
We can see the mother in the window too, like.
So they're in cahoots.
Yes, she's the one that's kind of playing this all.
Charlie goes straight to the dollhouse, says good morning to the doll. He's like, oh, I haven't seen that dress before. And his sister arrives, and she's like, hey, Charlie, what's going on? He's like, oh, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, nothing. You want to buy me a cup of coffee? Charlie's like, okay. And they leave because the cafeteria is still closed. It never explains multiple days, the cafeteria under renovation.
That's what I was assuming.
Anyway, they're at a coffee shop, and his sister's like, I kind of had ulterior motives, Charlie. Mom wanted me to watch you, and I've been kind of worried about you, too. What's going on here? She's like, I think his sister knows. She's kind of gets to like, I know you and Ma's relationship's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, she seems like the only one that genuinely wants to help him, and she seems to genuinely understand him in a way that the rest of the world kind of doesn't. But even in some respects, she still doesn't quite get him because he's a hard nut to crack.
And she says, here, there's a girl at my work. Here's her address. You don't have to call her or anything. Just go pick her up. And the next shot, he's on a date with this girl. What's her name? Harriet?
Harriet, yes.
Yep. And she's like, Harriet says, what you thinking about, Charlie? And he's, oh, nothing. It's like, you're quiet. That means you're dangerous. Come on, relax. Take it easy.
She's trying so hard, and he's
She
giving
is
her
throwing
him
herself at
nothing. Like, and then
she's a pretty cute girl, too.
Yeah, and then at one point she actually like tries to lay a kiss on him, and that's when I guess Charlie just snaps and pushes her off the bench.
Yep.
And I love the line that he says, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like the way he delivers that line with no emotion.
And she's just like, tell your sister you don't need a girl, you need a psychiatrist or something to that effect. Next shot, Charlie's telling the date story to the doll, and the maid opens the door. This time John Wilkes Booth is pissed, and he just pushes his way in, kills the maid.
He doesn't kill the maid.
He breaks a cane over her head.
I think he just hit her with the cane. I don't think she's dead.
And obviously Charlie's just like, don't you lay your hand on her.
And then
he takes a girl upstairs, and the implications of what he was about to do to this woman is not...
But is it all in Charlie's head, though?
I don't know, but it freaks Charlie out, and he decides to... What is he? He grabs like a...
He grabs a statue nearby.
And he breaks the glass. The security guard's over. What the fuck were you trying to do? He was trying to harm her.
I had to save her.
Do you think in this moment he kind of thinks that he was going crazy, or no?
No, I think this entire time he thinks he's the only sane one.
He was trying to harm her.
What?
He tried to kiss her last night, but she wouldn't let him. So he came back.
Sure.
The maid tried to stop him, but he hit her over the head with his cane. Then he went after the girl. She fainted, and he carried her to the bedroom. I had to stop him. You can see that, can't you?
Sure. I can see that.
Do you notice the parallels between his date that he just went on last night and this fake date in the dollhouse? Because
I did not.
He says the line, he tried to kiss her last night and she didn't want it. How does he know what happened with their date? He can only see what's happening inside the dollhouse, and he clearly wasn't there for their date. All he sees is them leave the dollhouse together. So I think he's kind of
projecting
his own like bad experience of a date onto the doll.
Yep.
Another point to being that this is all inside of his head, and his way of coping with the outside world is to like relive everything through this dollhouse.
For sure, but again, just like last week's episode at the end, spoiler alert, it's Twilight Zone.
At the end, yes, but that ending doesn't make any sense with how does he, if it is all in the Twilight Zone and this actually is moving and no one else is seeing it, then how does he know what happened with her date? Like,
I don't know. Next shot, Charlie is at a doctor's office. Did you notice who the doctor is?
Yes, it's the guy from number 12 looks just like you, isn't it?
No.
Then I don't know. I looked a lot like him.
I was shocked to find out. I'll tell you more on Inside the Twilight Zone, just a little teaser, but keep watching and picture him with a mustache.
Are you sure it's not the...
Positive, because I looked it up, and it is someone that I should definitely know.
Okay.
But anyway, he's at the doctor's office. Yeah, the doctor says, these were all in your mind, Charlie. How else can you explain that no one else was able to see them? Charlie's just like, he was trying to hurt her, though. You saw her, right? He's like, yes, of course I saw her. You want to see her? Obviously, Charlie's like, yes. And the doctor gives him a little piece of wood, but except he doesn't see it as a piece of wood.
He sees it as the actual full image. And when he's describing her too, do you notice the words that he uses? He says that she's trusting and innocent. Again, I think this is more of him projecting his own self onto the doll.
Then we get a kind of cool shot of him like crying, rubbing the doll on his face. I thought that was neat. It was like in a character study of like, what the hell is going on in this dude's brain?
Very David Lynchian sort of thing.
Right. Next shot, Charlie's family is in the doctor's office, and the mom is asking, is Charlie normal again? Doctor's just like, we don't use that term. And Bud says, well, actually, they go into a thing about like if it was normal to go to bed with your socks on, then everyone would do that. And Bud, I'll go to sleep with my socks on all the time.
It's clear that Buddy did not understand the the doctor was trying to say there.
Right. The doctor said he had a breakdown. His mind created another world. Buddy cracks his knuckles. Why do you do that?
Yeah, I like this little funny ongoing joke because it happens 2 more times throughout the rest of the episode, and I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to make that a joke or if it was like just a throwaway weird thing.
It's season 4. We gotta kill some time. I can do something. Charlie comes in. He's all happy. I'm better now. It's obviously, I think, to us an act.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure.
Obviously that's what it is, but I think it's supposed to portray like he's doing whatever he can to get out of this. So
and even his sister says later on when they finally take him back home that he's acting too healthy to the point where it's not like him anymore. Like she's picking up on like this isn't his normal behavior.
And the doctor asks Charlie, he's like, and what about the girl? Charlie kind of makes like he gets really serious at that point, and she's just a doll. And then Charlie's mom starts crying, and Charlie's, it's okay, Mom. The doctor says I'm fine now. Everything will go back the way it was.
And the doctor says the constant pressure of trying to act and feel and think the way you wanted him to contributed to this breakdown, which after him saying that, what happens later on that day doesn't really make any sense of why the family would do that if they realized that was what was causing the breakdown.
Next shot, they're at the breakfast table again, and Myra says, I have another surprise for you, Charlie. The job's still open, and Harriet's coming over tonight for a second date. And Charlie's just like, nice. She won't be sorry. Anyway, I gotta get some rest, guys.
Obviously acting like very like fake happy and like everything's fine. But again, when the doctor said like them pushing him to do these things is what caused the mental break, they're like, oh, well, let's just keep pushing it anyway. It's like, that's what caused him to go crazy to begin with.
He's like, all right, Mom, come put me to bed. His mom puts him to bed. She leaves. Charlie gets up instantly, and he looks fucking pissed. Very psycho.
Yeah, he takes the key out, throws it across the room like a psychopath, and then presumably goes out the window.
Yeah, because the next shot, Harriet arrives. They go to see Charlie, but the door's locked, so they have to have Bud break it down, and Charlie's gone.
I like when they're all searching the house. Everyone's yelling Charlie except for Buddy, who whispers it out the window. Like, if you should be whispering it inside the house and then yelling outside, and he does the opposite.
Maybe Bud didn't want to find him. This guy's fucking weird.
Yeah, I think he seems like a genuine, like, bro, like, just a cool, nice guy. Like, I don't know. I think he genuinely wanted the best for Charlie.
Right. Myra calls the museum, and apparently they're closed, so she's like, well, he can't be there, obviously.
They're closed. How could you possibly get into a place that's closed?
Next shot, we're at the museum. Charlie comes out of the sarcophagus like a Scooby-Doo.
that was also another funny moment there.
He goes over to the dollhouse, talks to the doll. I had to pretend you weren't real, just to fool the doctors, but I love you. The next shot, the doctor is at the family house, and the doctor's saying, I guarantee you he's there. How about you guys come with me back to the museum? Next shot, Charlie is talking to the doll again, and I'll play some of this because he kind of spills his whole heart out on this little doll.
Well, I've been alone all my life. Well, people have tried. My mother and my sister, they've tried very hard to understand, but they can't. You could. We could understand each other and help each other and love each other.
The next shot, we hear some rustling, and the doctor, the cops, and his family arrive at the museum.
Rustling.
The doctor and his mom enter the Victorian room. The doctor's like, well, tell him you're here. She's Charlie, it's your mother. Come out this instant, young man, or you're in big trouble.
Well, to be fair, the doctor does say first she does it like not like that, and then the second time the doctor specifically tells her to be more commanding.
They turn the lights on, and they don't see him. They're like, oh, let's start looking. And then I like the Charlie. It just reminded everyone saying Charlie.
Also, we get another instance of the knuckle cracking here where the doctor looks at him again.
Then they all kind of go their separate ways, but the security guard notices something a little different in the dollhouse. What is it?
Charlie's on the couch too, and yeah, they're not even at the piano. They're at the couch, and they're looking through some sort of like
viewfinder type of thing.
Yeah.
And then Rod takes us out.
They never found Charlie Parks because the guard didn't tell them what he saw in the glass case. He knew what they'd say, and he knew they'd be right, too. Because seeing is not always believing, especially if what you see happens to be an odd corner of the Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
If you want to be in a museum after hours, hide in the sarcophagus.
All right, we'll jump right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 7.6 out of 10. I think that's probably way too high.
Yes.
I'll go first because I actually think you dislike this one a lot more than I do.
Yep.
Not a lot more, but...
Well, then shouldn't I go first as the lower score?
I don't know.
Don't we normally do lower score first?
Sure. All right,
Or
go.
do we do lower score first?
I'll go first this time because I think it's funny to hear you say
All
the
right.
lower thing. I'm going to give this a 4. It's... boring is the biggest thing. The acting, Robert Duvall does a great job. All the actors actually involved do a very good job. I think this is really hindered by the fact that it's an hour long. If this was another season episode and it was only 25 minutes long, I could see this maybe being like a 5.5, a 6. It is pretty decent, but as it is, I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to give this one a 2. I originally had this as a 1, but talking about it, I'm like, okay, there's like mostly the comedy kind of stands out for me. There's like some funny moments, but overall, like, yeah, definitely a huge hindrance on the hour-long format. Way too slow, way too slowly paced. There's no clear message in this, and it never gets explained how he gets into the dollhouse. The main character is extremely creepy. The mother's annoying.
It is very half-baked to say, like, what's the premise? Oh, a guy kind of falls in love with a doll that may or may not be there. And what happens? He goes into the dollhouse. Then what? That's it.
But they start to kind of play with some themes, but then the ending of it where he gets into the dollhouse kind of contradicts those themes, and it's just, it's a mess.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week, of course, we have Robert Duvall. He played Charlie. He's in a shit ton of movies. I mean, I've listed probably a couple here, but you look at his IMDb, I think he was in like 150, 160.
All I can think of is Secondhand Lions.
Really? He was in The Road, 4 Christmases, Kicking and Screaming, Secondhand Lions, Gone in 60 Seconds, Apocalypse Now, Godfather 1 and 2, the 1969 True Grit, To Kill a Mockingbird. Very, very prestigious actor, I would say.
Now that you name some of them, I'm like, okay, I remember him in that and that. So
then we have Pert Kelton. She played Mrs. Parks. She was actually the original Alice in the Honeymooners. But I think her husband got blacklisted during the McCarthy things for being a communist or whatever, so it kind of fucked her name over too.
When you said she was the original Alice, like for season 1, and then they switched actresses?
No, they're called the Lost Tapes. All of the I think there's the original 42, I believe, for the Honeymooners. Honeymooners is so good. And as much as she is a good actress, I watched some of the Lost Tapes, and definitely it was an upgrade getting the other woman to play Alice. But she was in lots of movies in the 30s. She didn't do anything in the 40s that I could see. And then she got into a lot of TV in the mid-50s. She played in The Ed Sullivan Show, My Three Sons, and she was in one episode of Gomer Pyle.
Pyle?
Shazam! And then we have Barney Phillips. I had to mention him because he's so iconic, I feel, in the Twilight Zone. He's in 4 Twilight Zones. He's in this, Will a Real Martian Please Stand Up, A Thing About Machines, and A Purple Testament. And then we have William Wyndham. He played the Doctor. Still no idea?
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that's the guy from number 12, looks just like you.
It is not.
I don't know. Who is he then?
The Major in 5 Characters in Search of an Exit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A little bit of trivia on this one. Claire Griswold, the actress who played the little doll, was actually married to Sidney Pollack. He's an actor. He was in
The name sounds familiar. I don't know.
Eyes Wide Shut. He plays the guy that...
Never seen Eyes Wide Shut.
It's a good one. This wasn't a part of the syndication until 1984 because of a lawsuit. I would imagine it must have been like a plagiarism thing or something like that. They got called out on that a lot. In total, this episode cost $122,522. The director received $2,750, and the cast received $11,997. These season 4 episodes are very expensive.
Yeah, and so
there's
far,
some cool sets in there.
Yeah,
and you got.
But they, in terms of the set, though, I feel like they could have just filmed on location at a real museum. It would have been cheaper, wouldn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, a museum would probably be an easy set to make for like a studio warehouse because they have all this mummy shit. They have all these sets.
Yep.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in a name, Mr. Benninger, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles for the episodes we are watching. I have 4 this week.
I can only come up with one.
All right, go for it then.
I got The Dollhouse Debacle.
Hey, I got The Diorama Debacle.
Yep.
I have The Boring Museum, Night at the Museum, and I think this one's the best one, Fitting In, because he fits into the dollhouse now, but also the boss mentions it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
Switcheroos, I only have 2.
I have 5? No, I have 4.
Go first then. The New Exhibit.
Yep, I have that one. I have The Little People.
And A Nice Place to Visit.
A World of His Own. And A Piano in the House.
Pretty decent.
Oh, it may be better, it may be worse. The Twilight Zone did it first.
All right, so a few references on this one here. So we got the 1988 episode of The Twilight Zone called The Call, where a loner hears a noise made by and becomes attracted to a museum exhibit. So slightly familiar territory there.
They definitely, I think, in the 80s one, rehashed quite a few episodes. I think they redid the After Hours, or maybe in the 2000s one they did that.
Probably going for like a nostalgia grab there. But other than that, I just got a few movies that have very sort of similar sort of vibes. We got 2007's Lars and the Real Girl, where a socially divergent man kind of falls in love with a sex doll. You got 1987's Mannequin, where a socially awkward artist falls for a department store mannequin that comes to life at night. And then you have 1988's Pin, where a character falls in love with a medical dummy named Pin.
In the Lars and the Real Girl, what is that doll?
It's a sex doll.
Sex fiend.
Had to get it in there. Especially since I didn't play it for John Wilkes Booth up in the bedroom there.
Oh, true.
All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. Now, if you guys recall, we are in this is our second episode in our original format, which means we're going to have one from all 5 categories, and the categories are...
So, we've already done a time. We just did an other, so what's left is death,
alien,
and future.
I'm hoping it's an alien one. I'm excited for alien one. Alien ones are so good. But I'm guessing it's not. And it's not going to be season 4, and it's not going to be season 2. So season 5 kind of scares me, but I'm really excited for season 1 and 3. I'm going to guess an alien. I don't think you're going to do it. I think it's going to be death because you said death first.
No, I said future first? Did I say death
No, you
first?
said future last.
Okay, then I said death, alien, future?
Yeah.
Okay.
So death is on the mind. So I think it's going to be death, but I don't know what season.
All right, what are you guessing then?
Death's Head Revisited.
You ready?
Yeah. The Passage of Trumpet.
Yep.
This is Klugman.
And Anderson.
All right. This is season 1.
Yes, it is season 1.
And Passage of Trumpet. This has... that's Purple Testament. I was going to say Barney Phillips, but doesn't. That's Purple Testament.
No.
Yeah, how is it?
Do you want me to give it away?
Don't give it away, but, like, is it decent? Good, bad, meh?
It is... meh.
Meh. All right.
It was meh.
Klugman usually gives a pretty good performance, so that's kind of sad.
I can't
I don't remember this one.
Which one's which? Which one's...
Klugman's the guy from A Game of Pool.
And then Anderson is the guy from Flight...
Odyssey and
of Flight.
from Old Man in the Cave.
All right. Yeah.
Just meh?
It's just meh.
That's all you gotta say?
It was meh.
Well, be there next week while we discuss...
A Passage of Trumpet.
A Passage of Trumpet.
Oh, actually, it's a passage for trumpet. I don't get the name. The name makes no sense.
Isn't it like the trumpet that's the supernatural thing?
No, the trumpet doesn't even have any magic powers either.
Is there any supernatural thing in this episode?
Yeah, he essentially gets hit by he doesn't get hit by, he intentionally jumps into traffic, gets hit by
Like
a car.
suicide thing?
He's attempting suicide and gets hit by
Is it
a
like
car.
a Wonderful Life thing?
It's exactly A Wonderful Life.
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, so we have a comment on our latest episode on static, and the comment is from Partyboat. Partyboat says, LMFAO, can't wait for the next episode. So
we're in it right now, bro.
We are hoping you're enjoying this episode.
All right, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page and leave us some comments. We'd love reading them out. If you could also go over to the Facebook page, if that a like, and if you're on Spotify listening to this, please give us a 5-star review because we are what?
A 5-star show.
We sure are. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. And while you're on the YouTube page, go over to the old post section and check out the polls ties dropping every Tuesday. This week's was part 1 of the videotape episodes.
Well, when this gets released, there will already be the part 2 up.
There will be.
Yes, so, question in the poll right now is, what's the best episode of The Twilight Zone that was shot on videotape? For the first round, it looks like Night of the Meek is taking the lead, but we'll see how...
100%.
Yeah, we'll see how the votes go for the second half.
My predictions are 22.
Yes, I'm assuming 22 is probably...
And I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm guessing the third week is going to be the final of the two. I think... Night of the Meek. It could go all the way.
All right. Well, we have the bets in now, so let's everyone go out and vote.
All right. My final question for you, Ty. What is your favorite thing at a museum? Like what wing would get you like, oh, this is awesome?
I guess
dinosaur, ancient.
I guess an interactive museum where you get to like the science museum was always fun because you actually like got to do stuff.
But like no specific like subject or era.
Space, I guess. Yeah.
There's no air in space.
I didn't say air in space. I just said space.
I was hoping you'd do there's an air and space museum.
Yeah, I guess
Swing and a miss.
Space. I remember there was one exhibit at the Boston Science Museum where like it told you how much you weigh on each planet. I don't know. Anything interactive like that just makes it more fun. I
got to go down to the Boston one. I haven't been there in like a year or two. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. What's your favorite exhibit at the museum?
Exhibit A.
The art. Did you just stare at all the art and be like, that's so cool?
I do enjoy the art museum quite a bit. But when we went to DC, the Smithsonian, they have like the pop culture one where it shows like houses from like turn of the century to now. I really enjoy seeing progress, like the Carousel of Progress type of shit. I love that.
Yeah, would you consider like Heritage New Hampshire when that was around? Is that a museum?
I would say so. I love that. That was awesome. I wish they brought that back.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. If any of you guys ever got to witness Heritage New Hampshire, right next to Storyland in New Hampshire, that was quite the trip. That was really cool. Showed like the history of how New Hampshire was founded.
More museums should be like. It's just like a little walking tour of history or something.
Right? Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, museums are fun.
Yeah. Art museums are the worst.
Apparently there's one in Harvard. I didn't know about that. There's a whole like natural history museum in Harvard. I kind of want to check that out next summer.
I remember even like going to the Louvre and getting bored. Like I walked up to Mona Lisa, took a picture. I'm like, all right, well, I'm done here.
This broad's got no eyebrows.
The only painting that I found to actually be funny, there was a man getting attacked by a bear. Kind of reminded me of The Revenant. But other than that, I was like, what am I supposed to do with this museum?
You don't like art?
I hate art.
What about like all the Dolly shit? Like those fucking cool like Nightcrawler things that look like the Dark Crystals?
I guess if I had to pick an artist that I would like actually kind of enjoy looking at, it would just be Van Gogh. I like Starry Night and like the swirlies that he does.
You don't like? I don't know. I have to say the guy I just said that I can't remember.
Dali?
Yeah, Salvador Dali is my favorite, I would say.
See the one that did like the melting clock?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like his stuff. Well, what's your guys' favorite thing at a museum? And also, stay tuned for next week's episode of Passage of Trumpet.
A passage for trumpet.
For trumpet.
Yeah, weird name. I don't get what it's supposed to mean.
All right. Well, until then, Ty, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear Nomies out there?
Yes, thank you all for stepping into the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling